Hello, I'm Harvey Lockhart. I'm the founder, executive, and artistic director for Hill Center for the Arts. Welcome to our Intellectual Artist Series student podcast. This student-led podcast is where our students learn and discuss the arts discipline that they're studying, from the history, the culture, the business behind it, anything you can think of arts related, our students are talking about it. Stay tuned, and we know that you'll enjoy today's episode.
Welcome back to our Intellectual Artist Series podcast. And so previously, we've been talking about, of course, Ernie Wilkins, and the first series is dedicated to Ernie Wilkins. And so today is actually our third episode, and we have a few new people with us today. So once again, my name is Asia Brantley, and I'll be your host for this podcast. But we also have Donovan Lloyd.
How y'all doing?
We have Nyla McDaniel. And most importantly, well, not most importantly, but
You had it right the first time.
Yeah.
we have Mr. Harvey Lockhart, and he's here with us today.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're actually really excited because last time we had the chance to interview Mr. Ernie Wilkins, his brother, Billy Wilkins, and it was a great conversation that he and I had. And so today is kind of going to be more so touching on our experience playing the songs and our experience working with this music and just how it's been overall. And so I actually want to start with Donovan because he's just been over here joking this entire time. So I want to start with him. What was it like for you? And did you enjoy playing the songs, and how was that for you?
Yeah, so to me, the songs were really different from the songs that we usually play because, we're playing a lot of bassy and Duke. And so we've got a lot of dynamics and different rhythms and stuff, but this really challenged our sense of rhythm, really, because he applied everybody had to get into it and make sure we was all on the same page.
Right. So could you name the songs you're referring to?
I'll say bassy. Bassy. We had to really keep in time with each other because one person can throw out everybody else in the section, so we really had to make sure we was in sync with each other.
And so
that really helped with my rhythm.
Also your instrument, let them know what you play.
Oh, I play alto, saxophone. I'm a saxophonist, and tenor saxophone, and flute for one of the songs. I play second alto and flutes.
Okay. And Nyla?
I play piano on bassy and some of the other tunes. It was really hard to think about what rhythms to play, and I learned a lot about the blues and different styles and ways to play in comp.
So you talking about your comping?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And so I play trumpet, the best instrument there is. Okay, but anyways.
Please.
And then, of course, Mr. Lockhart, he plays also sax too. So, the saxophones are kind of ganging up on trumpet, but it's okay. But I love playing trumpet. It was great. It was honestly amazing. And the rhythms, actually the range, it was really challenging for me. The charts, it was really high. So I can't admit, I was afraid a little bit, but I got through it.
You were killing them.
Well, I guess I'll share with you guys from a different point of view. Just selecting this, you guys remember during rehearsal, we were trying to learn the tunes from beginning to end, and the concert date was rapidly approaching. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're not going to make it because they are not cutting the mustard.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you guys that, but I'm sure you felt it. But
Yes.
I think we had to, it was a challenge for me because I had to rearrange the music for you guys. And we didn't use any notation software or we just literally did it old school, like my directors did with me. Hey, cut that section, cut that. We're not gonna do that, and we kind of pieced it together. I was very proud of you guys for adapting and adjusting, so that we can make the music work. We were not. I know Ernie Wilkins really had the not so. What is it? The
almost big
band. The almost big band, but we didn't even have that. We didn't have an almost. We had a maybe big band. So we had to make something work. We had a little small combo. We had somewhat of a, we had 4 saxophones, 3, 4.
It was 3.
Yeah, 3.
3 saxophones, 1 trumpet, and the full rhythm section, piano, bass, and drums.
Right.
So we didn't have those inner parts with the trombone section. So we really had to just make it
Improvise.
work. We had to improvise.
Yeah.
And so I'm proud of you guys for
Thank
that,
you.
for doing that, for making it work, playing big band literature with a small group setting. So that was good. Nyla, I was very proud of you. I tell you all the time about, you coming out of your shell, with your comping and, so you did a great job, so
Thank you.
I know you were learning a lot through the process, and believe me, it's always a learning experience for all of us when we go through it. So, but it was good. And then to see you guys stretch out, Asia and Donovan and all of the other saxophone players and other young musicians, it was just good. I'm always excited to push you guys, and I get pushed in the process too. So it was good.
Taking on this project, like, what was the process of actually us getting to doing this project?
Well, I have so much faith in y'all. I think we could do anything. So I was approached by the Jazz Edge Orchestra, and they're good friends of mine. Sometimes I play with the group as well. So we were talking about doing a different type of festival. They were going to, initially they got funding to do a jazz festival that will reach high school musicians from all over the city. And they wanted to bring in some guest artists, and they wanted all of the bands to play Ernie Wilkins music. But COVID happened.
Right.
So we that project wasn't going to happen. And of course, there are guidelines and time frames that needed to be met. What's the word I'm looking for? Deadlines that needed to be met with regard to having the projects done. So I thought that we had talked for many years about us having a collaboration with the Jazz Edge Orchestra, which is a historic big band here in St. Louis. They've been around for over 25 years. So I thought this was the perfect opportunity for one, to push you guys, and then for two, to establish that partnership and that relationship with an existing big band. And as a result, I think you guys are going to be able to play with them next year to do some things. So be a part of that group. But anyway, we went to the drawing board. I said, well, we can do this, because we were already doing it the first semester. Remember, we did
It was almost like a tribute to Duke Ellington.
yeah, we did Duke Ellington's music
Right.
with our same group. We just made it work for us.
Yeah.
Right? We had to cut things. We did the same thing. I said, okay, well, we can do it. So so I just had faith in you guys and what you guys were able to do, and we went for it. I challenged myself, because I know we stretched, right? And every time you stretch, you grow. So I know what we're capable of doing now, right? So we can do more things like that. So anyway, I told them exactly how it was going to go, what we were going to do as far as the concert piece. Hey, my students can do this. My students can come together. We'll play 3 selections, and we'll do this, and we'll make it work. And you're going to love it. That's what I told them. They said, okay, well, let me, we'll see, let's do it. All right, so they believed me, because I was made sure that they would believe me. I was convincing. But they believed me, and we got in that rehearsal, and that first rehearsal, I said, what did I get myself into?
Abort.
I'm like, oh, Lord, are we going to make it? So, but anyway, we started working through it, and, we only had 1 rehearsal per week. So I was just, just really relying on you guys to step up to the plate and do what you needed to do in order to make sure that we can pull the music off. And you guys did it. So when we pulled it off, we had to, thankfully, the Sheldon was willing to record your performance, because, as you know, the North County Big Band is housed at the Sheldon, and they're part of our family. We're family with the Sheldon. The North County Big Band is one of the Sheldon's programs. So we were able to collaborate with you guys, with that ensemble, I should say, in order to pull this project off. So we were on Sheldon stage, we recorded it, and it was great. It was great. And so the next piece came about because we have our intellectual artist series, and you guys know I'm real big about the history and really wanting you guys to know what you're doing, who you're studying, who, not just to be able to play the music, but also to know the history and the culture behind the music that you're studying. So I think it was important, and I think it helped us go to another level with our musicianship when we started to research Ernie Wilkins.
Right.
And then we said, hey, let's make it a podcast. Let's see if we can do it. And we just went for it, and we did it. And now we're doing this podcast, and I'm so excited about it because now I want to do it more. I want to do more projects like this. I want you guys to learn more about other musicians. So I'm excited about what we're going to do in the future.
And so, like, with that, I love it because it's like, I mean, it's not like it was a spontaneous, like we just did it out of nowhere. But then again, it's kind of like, we're just like, well, we can't make it into a podcast. And so we could have just done it, like the regular traditional concert way, just with the 3 shows and, 3 performances and everything. But with, doing it as a podcast, why do you think it was more important to, do it as a podcast than just, the traditional way?
Well, again, we're very intentional, as you mentioned. We're very intentional about everything that we do. Initially, this project was supposed to be just on one long, I won't say long, but it was supposed to be a video. It's supposed to be a virtual concert, because of COVID, everybody was just going virtual. Everybody was doing everything virtual. That was everywhere. Like just the word of the year, virtual, right? So everybody was doing everything virtually. And so that was what our plans was. We were planning on making this a video concert like we did before with the Duke Ellington tribute. But we noticed that some people didn't stay to listen to the entire concert, all 3 of the selections that we prepared. So in order to make sure that people really saw what we did and really acknowledged our work and really made it worthwhile for you guys, I think it was better that we were able to include the background information to have these conversations and also show our work. So I guess a good segue is to probably just, tell them about this next tune that we want to share with them. What do you think? Yeah.
So actually the next tune that we have is Sugar. And for this one, so what was your experience playing it? Like, would you say that this was one of your favorite, or how was that for you?
Honestly, this was one of my most challenging pieces, really, because Lockhart, he would always be like, oh, well, you can do flute, but, if you're doing flute, you got to do flute. And I was like, okay.
And you got to play it in tune. Don't forget that part.
Right. So, so getting into it, it was really challenging, like, because flute, it requires a lot of air in order to play through it, because you can't just, it's not like the saxophone. You can't just blow through it and get a sound, So I really had to go and I had to work on it, and I struggled. And Lockhart pointed out, but that only made me want to try more, because flute has a very rich sound, I believe. So like once you get it down, it's like,
yeah, without that air, you're not gonna hear that rich sound. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what we
let's get into that.
Yeah.
Now that was by far one of my best and like one of my favorite recordings. And so, Nyla, what was it like for you playing on it? Because you just over there sitting quiet. Let us know.
Yeah, it was really hard for me because there was like just a lot of things going on, like with the different instruments and stuff, and it was just sometimes it was hard for me to like keep up with everyone else, and just knowing when to play and not to play. So yeah.
I enjoyed your performance. I think once you stop overthinking it and you start to allow yourself to feel the music more, then you started to make magic with everybody else. So I think your voice is real important into all of the music that we play. So yeah, we're glad that you were able to kind of stop thinking so much and allowing yourself to, just feel the music and enjoy the music and enjoy the process and just have fun. Because I mean, we failed a lot through this process.
Yes,
we did.
I agree.
Oh my God,
Yes, we did.
we failed a lot.
A lot of
Remember,
startovers.
sometimes we would like our handmade or our mental made arrangements that we because sometimes we didn't always have pencils handy. Me,
Right, like,
I didn't have
are we
a
going to
pencil
J-Next?
handy.
Or did we skip the can?
Right, so we forgot the arrangement because I didn't write it down. Like, we forgot the order.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I mean, it was fun. I think we had a
Yeah,
blast
it
doing
was
that,
really fun. And
just-
I just remember, I actually have some recordings in my phone, like from rehearsal. And I just remember, like they were playing a certain part. And it was a specific part. I don't remember which one it was, but they'll play it and he's like, y'all have to start over. And you'll just be back in your office. And you're like, I know y'all not, continuing and y'all just messed up on that like that. Like,
well, they should know by now. I mean,
he be heavy on the dynamics. Heavy on the dynamics.
I don't know why they even do it to themselves. You need to stop and fix it as soon as you hear it, so that we don't have to keep wasting time. But it was a great process. I really enjoyed it, and I think that tune "Sugar" was just, though seemingly it was probably one of the easier tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think it was definitely needed to kind of alleviate some of the stress that you guys were experiencing.
Yeah, I agree.
Learning some of those tunes. And I think it gave you more of a sense of accomplishment too.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to play that tune and say, "Hey, we got one that that we can we know for sure that we can handle this one and do well." But so yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I do also like that it wasn't like too much. It was kind of like, chill, like,
Right.
yeah. I love that about the tune.
I liked how, like, in that song, it was really like, it wasn't really a hard bop song like jazz is. Like, you don't have to really focus too much. It was like, it was in the name. Just got to put some sugar on it,
Put some sugar on
Right.
it.
Really, and that really made me focus on, like, more rhythmic sense, and, like, feeling that music, you know what I'm saying, getting into it instead of worrying about, what am I going to play at this next change right here?
Right.
It's
That's
really,
good.
Yeah.
you know, getting everybody a snake face, just feeling the music,
But other than that, so this one was kind of more laid back. What about Thelonious?
Oh my goodness. That song, I feel like that song really, if you don't have a well-developed ear, like if you're not used to hearing like different types of chords and different types of melodies and stuff
Right,
like
like
that.
a different sound.
Yeah, different
Thelonious
sound.
was a
I feel
different
like
sound.
that song would really like draw you away. But for me, it was really fun
When you
because
run
like
into it.
because like everybody was playing like different, and then like it was clashing, and it was like meant to clash and sound weird, and like that really was like it was really like opening because like Thelonious, I believe is his name, Thelonious. He had like a very distinct way of playing in his music that like was eye catching for everyone.
Thelonious Monk. Yeah. What do you think, Nyla, about those the voicings that you had to play?
Well, for that, I had to listen and study to a lot of recordings, and it was like a lot of tension in them. So I had to really just like think about that a lot of the times when I was playing, and like, where can I add this in, or like what else I can just play. It was just like sometimes it was a struggle though, because I felt like I was doing too much, so I would try to like back away. But I feel
We
like
love to hear you.
Yes.
I'll tell you when you're doing too much. So just
Yeah,
do too much. I want you to do too much. I'll tell you if it's too much. But if I don't say nothing, then keep doing it.
Like
Keep doing it.
Now, like, what do you think was the best part about this experience for you?
it helped me learn how to listen to other people like a lot more. Like with Basie, there was a lot of big dynamics, so I had to listen out for that. And like with Sugar, like even though it was chill and it was easy to listen to, sometimes it was hard to get off track. So I really had to listen and just think about other people and what they're playing. and what can I do to help them sound better or like enhance the experience for other listeners or viewers. So I just really had to listen a lot and learn from that. And
Girl, you learned all that? That's good.
Like,
That's good. Yeah, because sometimes I wonder if y'all really getting it. If I when I have to watch how I say things sometimes, or just make sure that you guys are really retaining everything that I say. I know I have to say it over and over and over again. I try to say it out of love, believe me. I try. And I hope you guys receive it in love. But
we know.
But, you
Yes.
what you just said, you got it. That's what it's really all about. It's an experience that we're trying to bring to our audience, to our listeners, to people who come to pay us attention, right? That's the biggest compliment that we can have. It's not about money, that helps. But when people stay and they listen to us, they pay us attention, man, that's the biggest compliment. Because I always tell you guys what's the biggest insult, right?
When they get up and go to the bathroom.
They get up to go to the bathroom during your performance. That's so insulting. But I don't think they're gonna do that. So why don't we let them hear you guys, your rendition of
hear that. That's gonna be great. I know it is.
Yeah.
So enjoy Thelonious, y'all. Now, I know y'all probably heard a few, note cracks, but, I think it was still pretty good. It was still pretty good.
Did you hear those solos, though? Man, that's one thing that we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah, we didn't.
Man, I was very proud of you guys, those improvised solos. Man, it's really showing a lot of the growth that you guys are doing, listening to the music, really transcribing, learning the style, not just the notes, but really, you guys really embodied the spirit of the music, and I can see your personalities. I was very, very proud of you guys, and even happy, like celebrating your growth through that process. So keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep listening. Keep growing. Keep shedding. Because that's a part of it too.
Right, that's important. I actually remember. I believe it was Tayari solo. I don't remember which tune it was, but it was like so good. It was super good. I don't remember which one, but I remember like he wanted to take another one. But
yes, literally. He was like, "Come on, redo that."
It's funny because we were joking after. He was like, "Man, I wanted to take another one so bad," and then even Lockhart was like,
"Yeah, what happened?"
I was looking into Lockhart's face. He was, he was saying it. It was like so good.
We didn't use that take, right?
No, we did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, that's the one we did use that take. And I was just like, everyone was just like, wow, man, that was.
Yeah, he wanted to go in.
Yeah, he did go in.
Yeah.
I can't help, man. Tayari, he be having me making a snake face sometimes, man. I can't help it. Like I'll be trying not to because we be recording, but
you can't deny the stank face. It's gonna come out.
Exactly.
It comes naturally.
Just come natural.
It's a good stank face, but
it's
and it's a bad stank face. It's like when Lockhart
just don't we don't want the real stank face that happens.
But that
when
good
when
one
you actually smell something. We don't want that one. The one that comes from the music, that's the one we want. Right. You can have the other one. I don't want that one.
Yeah, we don't want the bad ones.
No, we don't want.
I think we got all good, stink faces though. I think we got all good stink faces over here.
Nyla, do you have a stink face?
No, not really.
Nyla's stink face is just silence. You know you did a good job if Nyla looking at you while you saying.
I don't know. I tried.
That is hilarious. Okay, but I actually have another question for Lockhart. So, for you, do you recall your first tune you ever heard by Ernie Wilkins, or when did you discover him? What was that like for you?
So I've been playing big band music for a long time, since I was in high school, back in Miami,
That boy was bad.
My band director was Christopher Dorsey, and his high school band still, they compete in this essentially Ellington competition. They win it quite a few times, and he was the same person back then when I was in school, and we were raised up on Basie, on Duke Ellington, and all of the jazz greats, the big band greats. So our small group, our Point of View Jazz Ensemble, they do 50 shows a year.
Yeah.
We were doing that many with our big band.
Ooh. Imagine.
Imagine
Right.
topping it on top of what
We
you
had
already doing.
our book was like this thick. We had 150 tunes in our book. So we would.
You tell the stories like they're just gonna say to them like, flip to this, flip to that.
Yeah, we'd
And
just
then-
be on stage, and if you weren't ready,
That's so bad.
so I got my start with him,
oh my goodness.
and then I went to graduate school. When I went to undergraduate school at FAMU, we did the same thing. We continued in that legacy, and I was still playing that type of literature. And then in graduate school with Ron Carter, it's the same thing, but he was just even more intense, So
I remember we met him.
oh yeah, so y'all know. So
He yelled at me.
oh no, you ain't get yelled at, son. You don't know
I
nothing.
just started playing just like saxophone, and
Right.
he yelled at me.
remember-
He yelled. Man,
Oh,
shoot, I got stories.
Imagine what Lockhart
Everybody.
experienced. Imagine.
I was lead alto. I was his lead alto
Oh, my
player. So I got it. If a trumpet player cracking wrong note, it was my fault.
I wouldn't survive.
But I learned so much from that experience. Because he was so on me, it made me like
A better musician.
really make sure that I kind of really had a good appreciation. I studied. I had to go back and make sure I would study these recordings and really understand how to properly interpret them. Because when you're the lead alto player, man, that
lead
job
alto.
that's a big job. But man, a lot of times we play the music, but we don't look at the composer or the arranger. We don't really focus on that as much because we're just so into playing the music, and we're just happy that, hey, I get a chance to play this song with other people. But sometimes, and that's why I'm so glad that we're doing it here. Sometimes we don't get a chance to celebrate those musicians who really made that possible for us. So I played Ernie Wilkins' tune, Every Day I Have the Blues,
Oh,
so many times. I
Oh,
played
yeah.
that arrangement and just
I love
didn't
that song.
really ever take the time to, say, hey,
Who is this?
who is this? Who wrote this? I studied some of the musicians. And of course, we know
Right.
the people that were in Basie Band, but to take the time to really go that next level, I think is important. But just to know that he did that, he did All Right, Okay, You Win. He did so many other things. And one of my favorite recordings, and they talked about it earlier, of Cannonball Adderley with Sarah Vaughan playing Cherokee. I didn't know that Ernie Wilkins wrote that arrangement.
Right.
But
that's tough.
that's some early Cannonball when he first got on the scene in New York. But that's some early Cannonball, and I love that recording. Like for a long time, when I first heard it, I didn't know who it was, and then some friends and instructors told me, "Oh yeah, that's Cannonball," and I said, "Okay, I could tell. Yeah, I could hear it, right?" But then I didn't realize that Ernie Wilkins wrote the arrangement, because sometimes on the album, like in the liner notes, they don't get credit. The arrangers don't always get credit
Right.
for for their contribution to the music. So,
Right.
but to know that he wrote a lot of those arrangements, man, it's powerful. And I'm just grateful that we're able to tell that story and bring it out to the world, that and to celebrate him in this way. Yeah.
So, how do you think big band playing in that like area and like that sort of like, how should I say, group setting? How did that help you in jazz? Because that's more of like you got to focus on yourself, sort of, kind of more. So how did that
No,
help?
I think it did the opposite. It made me realize that this is a team. This is something that you do as a team. I don't want to call it a sport, but I guess people recognize it when you say team sport. But this is a collaborative juncture or a collaborative thing that we do together, right? So we don't have one individual person, but collectively, when you have all of these individuals together, we can really, we can make some beautiful music. We could create something beautiful together. And that's a good thing about jazz music, because even though we have the ability to play it the same exact way every time, we don't have to.
Right.
We don't have to. We can do something simple as, okay, let's do a different vibrato right here, different speed, or let's bend these notes, or let's make sure that we breathe right here, or tonight, let's play it like this. Let's be a little bit more aggressive here. There's flexibility with that, and I don't think a lot of people take advantage of that. Because it just keeps the music fresh and alive when you experiment. But just when everybody's on the same page, then and everybody's still, experimenting, but within the parameters of your role,
that's dangerous.
It can still be an amazing experience, not just for the audience, but also for the musicians that are there. So to me, it really helped me not to be selfish. It really helped me to understand that I'm responsible for these other musicians that are around me. I'm responsible for dictating the style as the lead player. I have to dictate myself, lead trumpet, and all of the lead players in the sections. Right. We have to collectively drive this band, right? The director, he just up there dancing. He just doing his other thing. He's really not needed. So we learned that the drummer is really the conductor, right? So, but still, we have the interpreter, stylistic interpreter is the lead trumpet. And I have to listen to what that person is doing, match them, and also insert my voice, and dictate to my section how we're going to collectively interpret, this style of music. Right. So that's important. And that taught me that. It taught me how to blend, even in a small group setting. When I'm playing with other musicians, I know how to adjust. I know how to make sure that I'm always listening. I know how to make sure that I'm always matching stylistically, articulation, intonation, timbre. Yes. That's huge. I hear so many guys just overlook that. I can always tell a musician that has never played in a big band. Cause they sound like it. You sound like you up there. It sound like three individuals, and you don't sound good. Now you can improvise when it's time for you to improvise. Yeah, you sound good, but that horn section is horrible, right? So yeah, it taught me those things, and my instructors, my leaders, they beat it into me.
Literally, no, I'm just playing.
But I can say we're really thankful for this opportunity, and just having a director like Mr. Lockhart is amazing. Yes. Like we have a great director, founder, and I'm thankful for that. Like I'm thankful for all these opportunities that we get. And this podcast is a great opportunity. Like I'm sure we can all say that. But just to wrap up, we want to thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for coming back. Like if you're back for the third episode, then you're part of the family at this point, So we're really happy, to have this, this podcast, this episode and everything. And so we want you guys to come back and follow us on all social medias. So we're Heal Center for the Arts. That is HEAL Center for the Arts. And that's on YouTube, Facebook, as well as Instagram. And you can also find us on our website, HEALcenterforthearts.org. Once again, my name is Asia Brantley, and I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to be your host. You have Donovan Lloyd. He's an alto sax player. If you want to, not you. He also plays flute, of course. Nyla McDaniel, also on keyboard. And Mr. Harvey Lockhart, he's our founder and director. And he's also an amazing, musician as well. And thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Our Ernie Wilkins series is in collaboration between Heal Center for the Arts and the Jazz Edge Orchestra. Our student musicians are members of the North County Big Band in collaboration with the Sheldon Concert Hall. Special thanks goes out to the Sheldon for the audio and visual recordings of the students, the Kranzbergh Arts Foundation for providing the space to record this series, and the Wilkins family for your support.
This series was made possible by the financial support of the Missouri Arts Council and the Regional Arts Commission. Our director and founder is Harvey Lockhart. Our production manager and designer is Brandon Brinkley. Thanks for joining us. If you are enjoying our series, please like and subscribe to our Intellectual Artist Series wherever you get your podcasts. To learn more about our programs, please visit us on our website at www.healcenterforthearts.org. Again, that's www.healcenterforthearts.org. And while you're there, go ahead and make a tax-deductible donation to further support our work. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.